Today, we are discussing one of the most serious Android security topics to emerge recently, a reported one-click exploit chain that demonstrates how a simple malicious link could potentially give attackers complete control over an Android device. The idea of losing control of your smartphone from a single tap sounds like something from a cyber thriller, but advanced exploit chains like this show why mobile security has become one of the most important areas in cybersecurity today. The reported exploit, known as IonStack, represents a full-chain attack where multiple vulnerabilities are combined together to break through different layers of Android security architecture. Instead of relying on one simple bug, attackers use a sequence of weaknesses that work together, starting from an application-level compromise and eventually reaching the deepest parts of the operating system. According to the security research surrounding this demonstration, the attack begins with a malicious URL. A victim does not need to install a suspicious application or manually grant dangerous permissions. The concept behind this exploit is that a single click on a specially crafted link could trigger a chain reaction, allowing attackers to move from a vulnerable browser process toward much greater control over the device. Modern Android devices are built with multiple security barriers designed to stop exactly this kind of attack. Applications run inside isolated environments, browsers use sandbox protections, and the Linux kernel acts as a foundation that controls access to hardware and system resources. However, when attackers combine several vulnerabilities together, they may find a way around these individual protections. The first stage of the IonStack exploit reportedly targets the Firefox browser environment. Browsers are extremely complex pieces of software because they must process websites, scripts, multimedia content, and countless types of data from the Internet. This complexity makes browser engines valuable targets for attackers searching for security weaknesses that can allow code execution inside the browser process. A successful browser compromise alone usually does not provide complete control over a smartphone, because modern browsers operate inside restricted environments. The browser sandbox is specifically designed to limit damage by preventing compromised processes from accessing sensitive parts of the operating system. This is where the second stage of the exploit chain becomes important. The next step involves targeting the Linux kernel, which serves as the core foundation of Android. The kernel manages communication between applications and hardware, including memory, processors, and device resources. A vulnerability at this level can be extremely powerful because it may allow attackers to escape application restrictions and gain higher privileges. Privilege escalation is one of the most dangerous concepts in cybersecurity. It occurs when an attacker moves from having limited access to gaining permissions that should normally be unavailable. In the case of a mobile device, successful privilege escalation could potentially allow attackers to access private files, monitor activity, modify system settings, or install unauthorized software. What makes this type of exploit particularly concerning is the reduced amount of user interaction required. Traditional malware campaigns often depend on users installing unknown applications, disabling security settings, or approving suspicious permissions. A one-click exploit changes the situation because the attacker's main requirement may simply be convincing a target to open a malicious link. However, it is important to understand the difference between a proof-of-concept demonstration and a widespread real-world attack. Security researchers frequently create advanced demonstrations to show what is technically possible and to encourage companies to fix vulnerabilities before criminals can exploit them. A public exploit demonstration does not automatically mean every Android user is currently under attack. Still, these discoveries highlight why keeping devices updated is essential. Operating system updates, browser updates, and security patches are not just about adding new features. They often contain important fixes that close vulnerabilities attackers could use to compromise devices. Ignoring updates can leave smartphones exposed to problems that have already been publicly documented. Android security has improved significantly over the years. Features such as application sandboxing, verified boot, Permission controls, memory protections, and security updates have made modern smartphones much safer than earlier generations. But no complex software platform can be completely immune from vulnerabilities, especially when billions of devices run millions of different applications. The rise of advanced exploit chains also shows how valuable zero-day vulnerabilities have become. A zero-day vulnerability is a security flaw unknown to the software developer, or one that has not yet been patched. These vulnerabilities are highly valuable because they can provide attackers with powerful capabilities before defenders have time to respond. For everyday Android users, the best defense is following basic cybersecurity practices. Avoid opening unexpected links from unknown sources. Be careful with messages that create urgency or fear. Install applications only from trusted sources, and keep both the Android operating system and installed apps updated with the latest security fixes. Users should also pay attention to unusual device behavior. Unexpected battery drain, strange applications appearing on the phone, unusual network activity, or sudden performance problems can sometimes indicate security issues. While these signs do not always mean a device has been compromised, they should not be ignored. The IonStack demonstration is a reminder that smartphones are now full computers carried everywhere we go. They contain personal conversations, financial information, private photos, authentication codes, and access to important online accounts. Because of this, protecting mobile devices has become just as important as securing traditional computers. The cybersecurity industry continues to evolve as attackers and defenders constantly compete with each other. Researchers discover new vulnerabilities, developers create patches, and security professionals build stronger defenses. This ongoing cycle is a necessary part of improving technology and making digital systems safer. The idea of a one-click Android takeover is alarming, but it also shows the importance of responsible security research. By revealing weaknesses before they become widespread attacks, researchers give technology companies the opportunity to strengthen their platforms and protect users around the world. As mobile technology continues advancing, security will remain one of the biggest challenges facing the industry. Exploit chains like IonStack demonstrate that attackers are becoming more sophisticated, but they also demonstrate why constant research, timely updates, and cybersecurity awareness are essential for protecting the devices that have become central to our daily lives.